Welcome to the Town Talks, the show where students from Oakland Public Schools get to talk to Oakland icons. Our guests today are the president of Oakland Roots and Oakland Soul, Lindsay Barenz, as well as Oakland Roots player Johnny Enriquez and Chuy Enriquez. Our host is Richie Nunez. Take it away, Richie.
Thank you so much, Darren. Before we jump in, I just want to give a special shout out to the Oakland Roots. Thank you so much for having us here. I want to say thank you to KDOL, to OUSD, and to the students, for being here. Before we jump into the questions, why don't I start here to my left? Go ahead and introduce yourselves and how you're affiliated to the Oakland Roots.
Thank you. We're so excited to have you all here. My name is Lindsay Barenz. I am the president of Oakland Roots and Oakland Soul.
Again, thank you guys for having us. I'm Chuy Enriquez, and I'm a winger for the Oakland Roots.
Again, thank you guys for having us here, and we're excited to have you guys here. And I'm a forward. I play for the Oakland Roots, and yeah, my number is 17 in case you guys are curious.
Thank you so much. And let's just jump right into the conversation. Koyo, why don't you take us away?
So my name is Koyo. I'm a freshman at Oakland Tech, and I guess my question's for the players. Just how do you what routines do you have to make yourself better, but also not to plateau while you're playing, and to just get better and obviously get to your goal of I don't know, doing the best you can and becoming, I guess, the best player you can?
I think personally, for me at least, is you got to have the right mindset. I mean, that's with everything in life, not just being a professional athlete, but I feel like just having the right mindset and coming into work, every day ready to conquer whatever comes, your way.
Getting there and making it, that's hard, but staying there and being consistent with your work is harder. There's games where you're going to be not the best player. There's going to be trainings where you're going to be upset, but then it's how you take it. It's how you come back the next day, how you come back the next game,
Cecilia, did you want to introduce yourself and give your first question?
My name is Cecilia. I go to Edna Middle School and I'm in 7th grade. And my question is also for the players. And I'm just wondering how your culture kind of connects to soccer.
Soccer is a big thing in my culture, my family's culture. I'm from Mexico. That's where my family's from, and everybody has, been watching soccer, played soccer.
Yeah, same as him. My parents are both born and raised in Mexico. I was born here, but yeah, they were both born and raised in Mexico. So growing up, my dad loved soccer. My mom not so much, but my dad, loved soccer. So growing up, I was always in and around the sport, and I just grew love for it.
I'm Nano. I'm a senior at Oakland Tech. My question is, what song do you play to get in the zone, get hyped?
I get hyped to any song. I'm in the locker room and I'm ready to go. Any song comes on and I'm dancing, I'm going in. So I don't know about him. I don't know if he has a specific song, but I know that I can vibe to anything.
I don't know if I have a specific song, but I do have a specific artist I like to listen to. Bad Bunny, that's my favorite artist right now. Yeah. Basically any song that has to do with Bad Bunny, I get riled up to.
Lindsay, I feel like that actually can extend out to you as well. When you're preparing for a game or even your day, is there a song or a ritual that you go through?
I also love listening to music pre-game, but I'm an old white lady, so my music tastes are a little different, but there's a band called the Mountain Goats that I love, and they have a song called This Year, and it's all about surviving the year, and if I really need a boost, that's what I listen to.
My name is Elsa, and I also go to Edna Brewer. I'm in 7th grade, and I think that you, Chuy, answered a little bit of this question when Cecilia asked her question, but I was wondering what brought you guys to Oakland, and why are you playing for Oakland Roots?
After college, I obviously wanted to play professionally, so I attended college, whatever, and then after college is usually the MLS draft, and that's when you get your name called or you don't. But I was waiting for that. Unfortunately, I did not get selected, which is it's okay. Every story is different. So I was just training on my own after college, just trying to find a place to play because I wanted to keep playing. And somehow I get a call from this coach that I played for, and he was like, "Hey, Oakland Roots is interested in having you over for a tryout." So I came. Luckily, I played well that week, and then they called me again, like, "Yo, we plan on signing you." And then ever since then, that was 3 years ago. I'm fortunate enough still to be here, and I love to be here. I love the city. I love everything that Oakland has to do with.
I left home at a really young age. I think I was 15. Left to a different country and everything. I started my career out in Tijuana, Cholos. Then I ended up in the USL, RGVFC. When I saw that Oakland Roots, or when I heard that Oakland Roots was interested, I mean, I didn't hesitate. And yeah, it took a while for us for me to receive the contract, but like I said, I wasn't focused on any other team after I got the interest from Oakland. I just knew that I wanted to be here, and like Johnny said, I love everything about it. You know, like everything they do, I've been following it ever since they became a pro team. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, what got me hyped the very first time Oakland Roots was when they posted that video of I think it's my boy Josiah Romero going crazy on the field to Mac Dre, I think it was. I was like, oh, I need to be there, you know?
Lindsay, I want to extend the question out to you as well. I mean, why Oakland?
The Oakland Roots is really a leader in the United States in being a purpose-driven sports organization. The more I learned about the club, the more I was convinced that I was the right person for this role, and this organization was right for me too. Because I am very driven by social justice and social equity, and I work in sports because it's at the intersection of business and activism. And the Oakland Roots are one of the premier clubs in the world who take our purpose very seriously, and we want to do great on the field, but we also want to do great things in the community.
Duran, you want to introduce yourself and your question?
Hello, my name is Duran. I'm a senior at Life Academy. I also play striker, and my question to both of you is, how would you describe the feeling of scoring a first goal or even just being involved in the play?
I don't think you can describe that feeling, to be honest. Sometimes you even forget how to celebrate. Just too many emotions. Yeah, everything's in your head in that moment. You know, everything you worked for, your family, you know, my daughter now. So I can't wait till I get that first goal of the season this year.
I was lucky enough to get my first goal at home this year for the Roots. And honestly, I mean, when you score a goal, it's just, you kind of, like, before the game even starts, like, okay, if I score a goal, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that.
That's true.
But when you score a goal, it's like everything just goes blind. You just get so much adrenaline. You don't even think of what you said before the game, or anything. You just
ignore me that goal. We kind of talked about it. We talked about it. We're like, hey, when we score, or if I score, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And no, he just ran away from me. You know, so.
You just go blind. You just zone everything out. Just, oh my God, it went in. We're in.
Yeah.
You know, we scored a goal. So
it's amazing.
It's a great feeling though. It's a great feeling.
Koyo, what's your next question?
Well, I guess my next question is, I guess it ties into, like, you know, scoring and just playing soccer. But, like, I guess for all of us, you know, soccer, football is more than just a game, right? I guess it's like a lifestyle. It's like how, you know, years upon years of, like, you know, love and dedication to a game. But how do you, like, what was your first story? Like, how did you first get into it? How did you first, like, have that moment that, like, kept you going, even, like, when you felt like, oh, you can't do it, you can't make it pro?
If you're not really connected into the sport or into that league, you're just like, how am I gonna break the ice and just get in there? So I mean, for me, I had a little bit of doubt right after graduating in the winter. I was like, okay, you know, it's the off season for the USL now. It's like, this is the period where they're kind of making phone calls, trying to get players in and whatever. Nothing was happening, so I was like, okay, you know, is it time to, like, move on? You know, I had a great career up until my university years, and now it's done. Luckily enough for me, I just kept, you know, I zoned that out, and I just kept working. And that's when I received the phone call, and then you work so hard for something, and then it finally comes your way. No matter when it comes, you just got to stay ready for whenever it comes. And
yeah, like you said, it's a lifestyle for a lot of people, and then sometimes it turns into necessity, you know, because you get to the point where you're surrounded by gangs, you're surrounded by things that you see growing up. My brother, you know, used to gangbang and all that, and that's all I grew up watching. That's all I saw when I was growing up, and I knew I didn't want that. And I knew that God has blessed me with talent, you know, of soccer that I could take advantage of and work hard towards my goal, which was to make it pro. And yeah, that was my motivation to bring my family happiness, you know, because we didn't grow up in the best environment. Like you said, it's a lifestyle, but sometimes it turns into a necessity. But yeah, you're always gonna have love for the game.
My question is for the president and the players. So Oakland is full of diversity in race and language. Do you guys feel like the team kind of like represents that diversity or includes that diversity?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
We have everybody here. We got players from Venezuela, we got players from England, Mexico, Africa. No, yeah, that's what the club is doing here. Like Lindsay say, you know, like it's something that I haven't seen in another club. That's for sure.
we have players from all around the world, and sometimes you're not gonna understand each other in the beginning of the season, but everybody finds a little ways to understand certain individuals. Oakland, you know, represents that.
Not only the players, I mean, if you look at the stands, there's everything. It's everything there, and everybody's together. Everybody's celebrating the goal together. It's an amazing feeling to have that, to see that.
The Oakland Roots stand for anti-racism, gender equity, LGBTQ inclusion, and we want our club to be a safe space for everyone to bring their full selves. And it's part of the reason that we are adding the Oakland Soul, our new women's team that will start playing next year. You know, we want everyone to feel like they can participate in soccer and that they have a home here. Oakland Roots and Oakland Soul reflect the diversity of Oakland.
This one's for the president and the players. What do you focus on in terms like kind of like routines to keep your mindset up and stay healthy and stay consistent?
A big part of having good mental health is being a physically active person. So we always think about working out or being active as good for our physical body, but the truth is that it's the start of good mental health also. Not enough people realize the connection between physical and mental health and how important it is to be an active person for your emotional and mental health.
I've hit the most turbulence this year. That little journal has helped me, like, it's just crazy how much that little journal can help somebody. Till this day, I feel like I've been doing an amazing job, and I think that's what's been helping me the most.
I think the physical part, I think that's what we do already, you know, like we're already motivated to come in here and work out and go out there and, you know, do our job, because it's our job. Right here is where you have to be strong. When I got to Roots, they introduced us to Lisa, and she told us, write, it would help you. And now I write. I can't go to sleep without writing. In the morning I wake up and I write what I'm thankful for, you know, thankful just for another day. And even if I have a bad day, I know that at the end of the day, I have to write there that I'm blessed to have another day, and that, you know, that tomorrow's another day, we have another opportunity.
You guys all sort of do soccer as like your career, that's what you do. And I was wondering how the sport has just helped you throughout your life, like the passion that you have has gotten you where you are today. When
I left, there was times where on the weekend I didn't have food to eat. Like, and I was so embarrassed to contact my parents because I left to help them out. That was my dream as a kid, you know? If nobody's around to help, there's ways to get what you can get, you know? So I think that helped me grow up and in life in general, not just soccer.
The one life lesson that I think I learned from soccer is resiliency. The ability to lose and then keep fighting. And that's a really valuable life skill, and it's very hard to learn. I think learning resiliency in sports is really, really valuable, and I've definitely learned that in soccer.
Johnny, did you want to add anything there in regards to passion?
Yeah, I mean, like Lindsay said, I think resiliency is definitely what soccer teaches you, you know, for the outside world, because like she said, there's some games that are just tough. They're just tough, you know. It's like, yeah, resiliency is definitely what it's been teaching me so far, and it's crazy what soccer can teach you.
This question has already been answered through bits and pieces, but I would like to clarify for those watching. What piece of advice would you give to younger players who aspire to go pro, but they feel like they're losing hope?
Never give up. Never give up. You never know who's watching. My opportunity came out of nowhere, you know. I went out to a tournament, and my dad wasn't around, but he's the one that got the phone call. He's like, hey, we want to take your son out for a trial in Tijuana. Came out of nowhere, you know. I didn't know they were watching. I didn't know they were there at the game. You know, I just kept working. I kept playing, and, you know, my opportunity came out of nowhere. Don't feel hopeless. There's going to be somebody out there watching, and there's somebody out there going to give you an opportunity.
Just don't give up. Like he said, you know, some days are going to be darker than the other days, but you just got to keep fighting, you know, just have grit and just keep going. Even when there's days you just feel like, you know, it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. Just those are the days where you just got to get up and just say, you know what, it's going to happen. There'll be opportunities where you're going to get that chance to fulfill that.
Lindsay, like for, you know, a young person watching, you know, who wants to break out into sports, you know, like how do they do that? Like, you know, get to the senior level, get to the president level, VP level, like.
There are lots of opportunities in sports beyond being an athlete. Obviously, those are very cool jobs. But if you are interested in sports and you aren't able to become a professional athlete, there are tons of jobs. This club has 25 professional athletes on its payroll and 25 staff members who support that team. I would say if you want to be around sports, then the best thing to do is reach out to your local club and look for internship opportunities or volunteer opportunities.
I like to look at it like this. Say I want to get from here to my house. There's different routes I can take, but at the end of the day, my destination is always going to be to my house. So that's how I like to view it.
So my question's for the players. So as, you know, players of color, especially brown players of color, you know, especially in the U.S. where, you know, a lot of, like, you know, racism can be experienced towards you and thrown towards you. Have you ever had that happen? And then, like, how have you been able to deal with it and continue to move forward even with all these obstacles and, like, bad things in your way?
I had it happen once in at the Chula Vista Center against the national team. I'm not gonna say any names, you know, I don't want to. But yeah, it was a corner kick, and I got called something. And to be honest, it did affect me. It did affect me right there and then. I couldn't even react. Like, I just was disappointed.
And I feel like Oakland has done a great job in bringing not just great players but great people, like, into that locker room. So, and even the front office. So I just feel like that locker room has a great sense of respect, not just towards everybody in this organization, but for all across the league. So yeah, thankfully I haven't had to come across that.
Chuy, I just want to extend that out a little more. Like, how do you overcome that adversity, right? Like when you're in the middle of a play and someone calls you something like that.
Honestly, it affected me the rest of the game. The fact that it's still happening is it's just sad, you know? It's just really sad, and we have to be ready for something to happen, and it sucks. It sucks for us to say that. But we can't react, because if we have a really bad reaction, it could also affect us, you know? So luckily it hasn't happened to me since, but I mean, like I said, last week it happened at a game in our league, and that right there is just, it's sad.
Since there aren't a lot of women presidents, like, how does it feel? Is it, like, different, or, like, just, like, overall?
In fact, no other women presidents in the USL Championship. I was in a meeting earlier this year, and it was a large room. There was maybe 100 people in it, and it was all men and me. And I will say that was quite isolating. We need to have more women get into the business side of sports and the technical side of sports, right? There's no reason that you can't have women coaches in men's football. I would encourage any young women out there who are interested in this career to pursue it, because it's very satisfying and it's a lot of fun, and there's absolutely no reason that anyone of any gender can't be the president of a men's football club.
That right there.
To go off on when you're in those, like, rooms dominated by men, I bet you face a lot of prejudice and maybe a lot of bias. How do you respond, and, like, how do you cope with when those things happen in the moment? Yeah, it happens a lot, actually, especially in kind of casual ways. Recently, at a game of ours, somebody came and asked me a question, and I gave them the answer, and they didn't like that answer, so they went and asked a security guard if they could do the thing that I told them they could not do. And I was like, that person literally reports to me, so I don't know why you think that that person's going to give you a different answer. You know, in those moments, I try to stay calm. I try not to take it personally, and I just try to, you know, do the best I can at my job so that I can be a good example to other people.
Oakland has faced many adversities and overcome many too. How do you think the Oakland Roots organization, the symbol, the team, everything has affected the Oakland community and all communities, not just from soccer, just from the whole idea and symbol of it? We really try to give back to Oakland. You know, one of our club's mottos is Oakland First Always. We've volunteered at a food bank. We've donated lots of soccer equipment. We teach a coaching course where we help coaches become better at mentoring and better at creating a welcoming and peaceful environment and to motivate their team. Our goal is to be a sustainable soccer club right here in Oakland, and it's a pretty simple goal, but it's pretty complicated to achieve it.
The Oakland Roots are here to stay. You know, like, you guys have seen other teams from Oakland go to other cities, and the Oakland Roots are here to stay. I think, you know, as a player of the Oakland Roots, I could definitely, you know, vouch for that.
Oakland does a great job on giving back, you know, to the community. Off the field is just as important as on the field, and I think I would I would say we're the best in the league, and not just probably not just our league, but in other leagues as well, and giving back to our community and making sure that our community feels as connected to us as we try to connect to them.
I mean, the community gives back to us too. I mean, look at us.
Yeah.
Look at that. You do not go into a USL game and have that vibe anywhere else. The community definitely gives back to us, and we appreciate everything.
Where do you see Oakland Roots and Oakland Soul on and off the field in 10 years? Like, what goals do you want to achieve within 10 years from now?
We want to have a bigger stadium where we can fit more fans. We also want to be able to have 2 professional teams, a men's and a women's professional team, as well as 5.0 men's and women's development team. We want to be here in Oakland doing this work.
So for us off the field in 10 years, I mean, they're helping us out with that as well. You know, becoming better people, seeing what the club does to the community, that just motivates you to help out. Even if it's not here, maybe from where you're from, East Palo Alto, Newark, whatever, Fresno, you know, like it gives you that motivation to give back.
I personally think we'll be one of the biggest teams in North America, honestly, because I feel like this team is, I mean, think about it. I've been here for 3 years. From NISA to now, in only a matter of 3 years, we've just skyrocketed. I don't think we're going to slow down anytime soon. So,
my name is Luke Sweeney. I go to Montera Middle School, and I'm in 8th grade. And my question is, when you guys are traveling, do you guys have a fun game or hobby that you do as a team that you just like to do?
The day of the game, we usually have like a stretch time that we all come together and stretch and foam roll and everything. Before that, we all get together and play like these. It's led by our coaches, but we usually play like these little fun mini games just to get us, you know, going a little bit. Yeah. So I feel like that's what we do before an away trip. Sometimes have dinner the night before all together and just kind of just try to relax our minds, relax our bodies, and try to, you know, be as relaxed as possible for the game.
On our free time though, like on our free time, every player is different, you know. Some players just like to be laying down on their bed and watching Netflix, whatever. In the other hand, you got me and Johnny that we're like, okay, we got to go walk around a bit, you know.
I'm Andres. I also go to Montera. And my question is, like, as a player myself, like before big games, you know, sometimes you feel pressure. How do you guys deal with that pressure?
Feeling nervous, feeling pressure is normal. If you prepare well and you do everything you can during the week, I feel like once the game comes, obviously you're still nervous because it's a big game, like you said. But I feel like if you tell yourself, you know, I've done everything I can to fully prepare and be ready for this game, nerves are good, you know. That means you're excited and everything, and those nerves will probably help you. You know, you're going to have a little bit of adrenaline once the whistle blows, and once the whistle blows, you just forget about everything and you don't even feel nervous anymore.
You definitely feel nerves and different type of excitement, like for the game to start. But once that whistle blows, I mean, I have one thing. When the whistle blows, I get the ball and I just want to connect the first pass. I connect the first pass, whether it's going back, going forward, and I'm ready to go.
We actually have a Project 510 player, Tomas. I'd love to give you the opportunity to ask just one last question, if that's cool. I mean, just, you know, from your perspective.
Hi, my name is Tomas. I'm a current player for Project 510, play left back. And one of the questions I have is, I don't know if you guys, you know, have any experience with meditation, but around that area, like, do you guys meditate? And if so, like, what do you guys do?
For some players, I do think that meditating is huge, not just for players, but for people in general.
I definitely do it sometimes. I did it in Colorado. I just go on YouTube and I put 5-minute meditation and I listen to the lady. She's like, sit up straight, you know, take a deep breath, and there I am, you know. And it makes you feel better, I'm not gonna lie, you know. It relaxes you. I wake up at 8 in the morning, 9 a.m., whatever it is, and I want that game to start already. Like I do it to relax, like calm down, you know.
There are so many different tools out there that can be helpful to your mental health and focus, and everyone should try all of them to find which one is the best fit for them.
On that note, I just want to end the conversation, which is how we started it, with just a moment of expression. You know, thank you so much to the students that are doing this, you know, outside of school. Like, thank you for your time. And obviously, you know, Lindsay, Chuy, Johnny, like, thank you so much for hosting us, taking care of us here. We really feel like, you know, at home. So thank you so much for having us. And thank you to KDOL, OUSD, for everything that you've done. You know, thank you.
Thank you for joining us on the Town Talks. We'd like to thank our sponsors, KDOL, Town Sprouts, Oakland in the Middle, The Link, and of course, Oakland Roots. Until next time.